Actually, here in mainland Europe, you would be ahead of us in the UK and the US on this. And I don't really, but I think I can't see websites disappearing. And in fact, again, there seems to be perhaps in some cases a move back to traditional websites. I'm not denying that any of these things could happen, but I don't really believe in them. I guess the reasons that technology die are probably hard to predict. But the one that I think is most likely is that something simpler will come along. And I guess one of the reasons I think this is thinking back to when Wagtail came out. When Wagtail came out, there already was an established, successful Django CMS called Django CMS. And it had many features, it had a lot of users, a lot of contributors, and Wagtail actually didn't have many of the things that Django CMS had. When Wagtail came out, it didn't have Streamfield, it didn't have internationalization, it didn't have an API. I think one of the things that appealed to people with Wagtail was that it just felt lighter and fresher and easier to get into, and especially as a Django developer, it felt more natural. I'm speaking for everybody else, but that's my impression for the reason it was adopted, despite that. And although now as Wagtail we might feel that we sort of created this big moat around us because we have so much attention to detail. I mean, when I think about some of the PRs coming in now around something that was around yesterday around accessibility on tooltips on relative dates. These are not problems that you think about when you're creating a new CMS, but they are important problems. It's then endless feeling of like chipping away and making things better. And when you do all that work, you think, how can anyone compete with this? Because it's going to take them years to get to the stage where they're worrying about accessible tooltips on relative dates. But the reality is that people are always attracted to things that are simpler and easier to use. And I guess that's where I want to end, is that as well as all the interesting work we're doing on building new features and growing our community and finding new ways to build cool websites with Wagtail, that we continue to focus as well on simplicity and speed and the joy of first experience. That's it for me. Thank you very much.
I think we have time for some questions. Does anybody have a question? I think you said it all. No? Alright. Well then, we're going to go through to our next presenter. We've got Lucas Muskos on Paris, who's going to talk about Wagtail headless and Next.js frontend.
€150, met €22 voor een mannetje die microfoons gaat uitdelen en aansluiten. Die ons.
Wil je die netkabel nu?
Ja, doe maar.
Dus ik vraag nog even een pauze. Maar dat betaal je.
Maar ik moet ook mijn ding terug hebben, die heeft Lauwens ook nog.
Ja, ik weet niet hoe lang het is. Sorry about that.
Ja. Dat is correct, daar is een mannetje. Nee, dat is dat neemt 50 euro per uur voor. Maar is die?
I want to talk about using Next.js as a frontend for websites built with Wagtail. Next.js is a framework built on React. But first, where I'm from, I'm Lucas, a software developer from Fabriek, this is our office in Amsterdam. and we mainly build websites in the museum sector and sectors like that, and we focus heavily on front-end design. So a lot of our developers are front-end developers. Yes, so I really like the idea of hands-on CMS for building websites because for years we struggle a lot with the possibilities of the Django template language, and for our front-enders we have to learn those, and at the same time there's a lot of improvements in the JavaScript sector where frameworks are more common and people have more experience with frameworks and less experience with plain HTML and JavaScript. So I think